I don't know that we've ever tried this, so this is just going to be a trial run. Here's a picture of the back of the buildings in Tama, Iowa, and it's a little bit dark. So I thought I would, I don't know if you can see this or not.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, it isn't full screen, but if for this little thing, well, we'll try it. So the first thing I usually do is I go down here on mine and adjust the lighting, and I go over here to shadows, and
Exactly.
you can see right away how it popped up. And
What software are you using there, Ron?
well, this is strictly Apple.
So do you know what the name of it is?
Yeah, I can tell you. It's Adobe Photoshop Elements Editor.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay, so that's up, and you get brightness thing, and you can see that how you can change the brightness on it.
Yep.
And then I usually put it about right there. Then I give the dark and the highlights just a little tweak, and I think that kind of brings out the greens and stuff. And I also do the midpoint contrast a little bit. So to me, that picture is a little more pleasant than the other one was. And I guess we can do that. We had never tried it before, but the point is if we want to show something on a Zoom some night, how people do Photoshop, I guess we can do that.
Absolutely.
So with that in mind, I will, just a minute here, I will get rid of that because that's all I'm going to do. If I can figure out how to get rid of it.
You hit Apple Q, it'll quit.
Yeah. First, I got to do an OK here in order to get out of it. I really don't want to save it. It's gone. Okay, so so much for that. Now
It's still there.
I did a little something here with another thing. And this is not PowerPoint. And I would like to see how this is going to turn out. I don't have the answers to all of these, and I hope that as we go through them, you can tell me what they are, or if you're interested in the picture, there's a number at the bottom of the slide, and if you'll just write the number down, I can send you the picture. So this is just a series of cars out of my photo album.
We're not seeing that, Ron. I think you
I know
might.
you don't yet.
You probably need to
I don't
stop
have a full
sharing
screen on it yet.
stop sharing and share again.
Stop sharing and share again. Wrong thing.
Sounds like a sermon.
Still
Right.
have the Tama plant.
I'll tell you something. I got that up on the wrong thing anyway.
I saw something recently that Microsoft is going to update Paint, so it'll do everything that Ron just showed.
As long as you're willing to pay them by the month, whatever they want for a lease fee.
Microsoft has said a lot of things like that.
Exactly. I agree. And I don't like their monthly lease fees.
I have lost my ability. Oh, did that make a difference?
No,
I'm gonna shut you down and have you come back on and see if that helps.
All right. Okay.
There we go.
Yep.
All right. Okay, full screen.
Yep.
All right. Now, in this program can actually do every 10 seconds or whatever it is, but I took that out so that I will manually do it just in case there's some conversation. Otherwise, we could have went every 10 seconds in about 15 minutes. Why we would be not only done, we would be off the air. So this is the first car. I don't even remember where I took all of these, but 90% of these are my photos. There's a few from another gentleman that would go with me a lot of times. So if you see something, say something. Otherwise, I'll just keep moving through the pictures.
Ron, what makes that a rare photo is that those white reefers are like canvases for taggers. It's rare to see one that isn't all covered with artwork.
Yeah, well, that's true. I tried to pick these that did not have artwork on them. If I had some of those, I don't think you'll see them tonight. I thought that was kind of unusual. It only had one end, one bulk end on the thing. The other end is gone for whatever reason.
Hmm. It is.
That's a really old car.
Yeah, but it's still 3 bay though. You gotta go back further.
Yeah, I don't think it's their very first ones they had.
Oh, no.
A high pressure car. I guess it says on there what it's for, carbon dioxide.
You have to model brake detail on a tank car, no options.
And here's another high pressure car.
Ooh,
I don't think
Ooh.
there's no
I
Emmett
want
Signal
that one.
people on here.
number 7, huh?
Yeah, if you want that, I can get that to you.
Absolutely.
Car number 1.
Oh,
The aluminum car. I guess they made these for several different railroads. The Rock Island had one also. I don't know
Yep.
what else. I don't remember the other ones.
Do you notice,
Great Northern.
do you notice the journal covers are painted?
They may be aluminum too. I don't know.
Well, what I understood is that when they first started putting roller bearing axles into trucks, that they still used the old journals with the lids and painted them a different color. Now, I don't know how true that is, but it seems to have worked on a couple of railroads I'm aware of.
And did you notice the previous Emmett St. L car still had the polling pockets on it?
Yes.
Yes.
Old sucker.
Freeway 1940.
And you don't see them here, do you?
I don't see them.
No. Nice lumber load.
That's a Northwestern car. Quite a few of these will be Northwestern. So tell me what the white line on the door means something. Somebody has the answer to that, I'm sure.
Oh, man, I should know that. It's loading racks inside the car. Normally, I believe that's what it's all about.
This car would have a bar in the middle of the doors. I guess my cursor does not work it works on PowerPoint, does not work on this, so I can't point it out. Here's another one.
Yep.
Too bad
Mike
that,
can swim.
too bad that's not in focus, isn't it?
The Mikan scheme, they called it.
If you increase the contrast on that, that would help a lot.
Well, these have not been through Photoshop.
Yeah, well, okay.
So you're seeing them just as I picked them out of my photo gallery.
Sure.
Yep. Seen that one.
That
That
one,
whole pickle trade is fascinating.
I obviously did not take that picture. You sure? This was on an Iowa Northern train. Pretty common car today.
Well, another white lined, double door.
Now, somebody tell me what that's for.
Heavy.
Back one.
6-wheel trucks on it?
They look like old tender trucks.
I
Yeah.
have no idea what they used that for. This is down at Monticello, Illinois. And the picture should be in color, but I guess I did something to the camera that day. And I made them all black and white.
You put black and white film in it.
No, they're digital.
Black
Good
and
old,
white, black and white pixels, guys.
Yeah.
good old Tri-Pan X.
21, huh? Union Refrigerator Transit Lines.
Say that that prior slide had very interesting lettering. The script.
This one?
No, the one before it. That one.
Almost circus-like.
Yeah, it's different from a lot of the CNNW you see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy's daughter did it. Now that's an interesting spacing.
The Olus,
Yeah,
Minneapolis.
yeah, that was weird.
I guess I have that one in there twice.
Well,
Would
that's
that have
okay.
been, would those Minneapolis and St. Louis cars have been green?
No, those weren't green.
No,
Only the metal ones were green.
Okay.
boxcar red.
Hmm.
Interesting.
Here's that flowery script again.
Yeah.
C8.
Dave, you may
Am
be
I-
able
am
to
I
tell us on
right?
that.
Before
an
you leave,
amp.
is the new date say 256? That what everybody else sees?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that car just had to be come out brand new.
Looks like it, pretty fresh.
It
During
looks
that
like they
period,
used
right?
looks like they used a stencil for an 8 and just added a little apostrophe on it.
Yeah.
For the ampersand?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's an interesting ampersand.
I think that was a period when they stopped putting the Herald on and used the big lettering.
Hmm.
I don't know how long the period lasts, but that's a car that a lot of Northwestern people would like to get. The 4 hopper car that they mainly is used mainly for the sand for their own use for the locomotive sand.
That looks like the one at the Roundhouse at Shadron.
That's exactly where it is.
Pullman Standard.
We're going to Old Wine now.
No, that's the Illinois River Museum.
Oh, we're not at Old Wine.
No, because you can see the Burlington Northern's former business car
yes.
F unit in the background.
I
Yep.
see that. Thank
Yep.
you. Yeah, okay, we're at Union. It was a rainy day when we were there that day.
That's a weirdo.
Back at Monticello now.
They really
Somebody
have
explain
caboose
that little
thing.
door again.
Yeah,
What type of car is that? I mean, is it a caboose?
Yeah. I seem to recall they were prohibited in Iowa. Not all states would allow them.
I think that's,
And I don't know if that's where the guy was supposed to hoop up orders rather than stand on the platform. I think so.
Well, do you remember when Displane's Hobby came out with that? It was an
It-
awful color red styrene that was almost translucent. It always looked like it was glowing with the light on. And it was one of their first cars that Displane's Hobby had. And I didn't think it was real.
Oh, yeah, yeah. And IC was not the only railroad that had that.
I see.
But then you had to obey various state laws that didn't allow them.
What was
But
the
you-
reason for not allowing them?
Worker safety,
Okay.
because you basically had to kind of hang out of that little door in order to hoop up orders or do whatever else it was. I mean, it wasn't to load the car. It was, I think it
Yeah.
was for the conductor to hoop up orders at the end of a train.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, Milwaukee, oldie.
it's a Milwaukee car, but it's out in Nebraska.
Oh, the Nebcoda, yeah.
That's one of the later ones.
This is someplace in Iowa, and I wished I had
Lemo-
wrote down, wrote down the name of where that was
It's,
at.
I think it's called Lemoyne.
Okay,
It's still there and it looks even worse.
yeah,
There's also-
unfortunately,
There's also a depot.
yeah, those wood cars deteriorate quickly. That may be in Illinois. That's in Marshalltown.
Oh, that's nice.
Predecessor to the extended vision caboose.
Yeah.
Those cars came out in a kit from American Model Builders. And that is the drover's car out in South Dakota. And that's that. Now I gotta figure out how to get back out of here again. You may have to drop me out. I somehow have forgot how to get out of this.
That's easy.
Okay, I'm out, right?
Yep.
All right, so we'll do something different here. Get the right one. This is the same thing. This is, again, is not PowerPoint. And most of this stuff will be new stuff, so that if you want to find old things, you might take a little nap through here. This is down in our area, down around the Indiana line on the old New York Central line, which is, Norfolk Southern now.
Right up my alley, Ron.
I slipped up into
Oh.
Wisconsin.
WC.
I found it interesting, look at the electric, or not electric lines, but look at the communication lines. At the time I took that, they had not taken any of them down to speak of. Most of them are still up there. And that's a four cross arm with most of the wire still intact.
Ooh,
Is that
Those are
the
cool.
Green Bay Railroad Museum?
I think it is.
is that an H-1244?
Well, of course, it's a Fairbanks Morris, but they, you know, they had different back porches on them.
It
Here's the same
probably
engine.
is. Yeah, it probably is an H12, but you almost have to look at the roster because I know one railroad cut the back porch cover off and all their H10s looked like H12s after that.
I was going by the grills. I thought maybe the grills. Interesting.
I'm only going to show one Union Pacific. That's enough, right? Moving right along.
Oh,
That isn't exactly modern.
No, there are a few, and I didn't take it either.
That's a gorgeous
They
photo.
didn't have many of the green ones, and I think as far as I know, they repainted them, didn't they?
Eventually, yes,
Yeah.
they went to red eventually.
Okay, Athearn did this on those trucks. The back truck has a round cover over the journal. The front truck has a rectangular cover over the journal. Why was that?
Interesting.
I had to throw in a little
Yeah.
passenger unit here.
Doodlebug.
With the difference in the covers, Ken, do they have to do with the where the speedometer cable came out?
Well, they both have them, front and back truck.
Mhm.
It's a good
Okay.
question. I don't know the answer, but I spent a lot of time modeling them that way.
Yeah.
Well, the B unit looks like it's the same way.
It was the earlier units, probably built in the late 40s. You got in the early 50s and they had the Hyatt round roller
That's
bearing.
right.
And I'm not sure these are roller bearings. That may be part of it. They're solid bearing.
Oh, one of the many schemes.
Yeah, one of the many.
Total of 21.
well, there's actually two schemes in the same photo.
Well, right now Clark Probst is doing them, and he says there were 9 basic, but with all variations. I have a friend who's painted all 21 with all the variations, the 9 basic plus all the variations. They had a different scheme almost every week.
I think this is a leaser locomotive on the CSX. It's down at Union Mills area. And that happens to be on the Northwestern. That's there's a Northwestern engine in front and 2 CSXs behind. Now I'm back at Union Mills. The Grand Trunk is the rails to the left. The locomotives are on the old B&O. And of course, the Grand Trunk was the old, which is now Canadian National. Here comes the train crossing. This is a little short line down in Indiana that the old Pierre Marquette abandoned. Well, they abandoned part of it, and this part was picked up by a short line railroad.
So that's a Duluth Wasabi
Hobby
Iron
and
Range?
Iron. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
DMI.
I think it came from the Duluth Masabi, the arrow. That was kind of Duluth Masabi on the Iron Range.
Well,
Think so.
what I wanted to tell you is the Monon used a few of those on a temporary basis, and the railroaders all called them Kimosabis.
Okay, okay. All
This is
right.
just south of Union Mills.
The line that goes down to La Crosse, isn't it? Well,
That railroad has a connection at La Crosse, I think.
Was that the chicken?
Isn't that the Chesapeake in Indiana?
Okay, so now we're back on the Norfolk Southern. The CP runs on the Norfolk Southern through this area. Now we'll see a few Burlingtons now, and I don't really know where that, it could also be on the Norfolk Southern. You see Burlingtons down there a lot. I'm sure that's down at somebody can help me here, but I can't think of the name of the town now.
Is that Chesterton?
Thank you. That's where it is.
Yep.
So you got a
And-
BNSF, you got a CSX, and you got a Burlington Northern in there. This is in Iowa. We're west of Cedar Rapids, I think. And of course, we're way south of there. We're on the Burlington. We're not on. I don't know what town we've just passed. I think I took that locomotive. No, that's a Jim Sands one. I have a picture like that I took. This is in Marshalltown then. If anybody knew Jim Sands, he took a unbelievable amount of pictures. Great stuff. There's another one. Doug Harding is the one who scanned it.
Now there's the truck that has the two journal covers, but you can clearly see the speed recorder attached to one.
That's up north of Mason City. So this is South Shore. This is the freight line.
Is that one in Michigan City that?
Well, this
slide
is
before- No, but the
Well-
one before.
this is probably down at the old Army military ammunition factory.
Those are
Kingsbury-
coil cars, right? It's pulling coil cars.
Yeah,
It's the Kingsbury ordinance plant.
Kingsbury,
Kingsbury Ordnance.
Yep.
This is at Clinton.
The Sioux.
Now we're back at Union.
Nope.
So is that a Baldwin?
Alco. Pre-PA, what, I forget what they call
It's an
it.
Alco?
Is that a DL 109 or?
Yeah, there you go.
This is the other side of it. Well, maybe it isn't.
no,
Uh-oh.
Wait a minute, this is the Baldwin here.
Yeah,
That's a Baldwin baby face, isn't it?
Yes. I'm not sure where this is.
Short stack.
This was the one that was out in Nebraska. This was at Union. This was at just east of Morrison, Illinois. And that's the end of that. All right, I guess we gotta do the same thing as. All right, what time we got? We got 8 o'clock.
Plenty of time.
All right. So we will look at some old pictures here. Let me get this up. This is just a bunch of different pictures. This is on.
You know, we were looking at all those pictures of the M and St. L, just so everybody knows, last Saturday, we had one of the final sales of Dick Berry's stuff. And one man bought all of the slides. So
Wow.
you'll start be seeing, you'll start to be seeing slides, and part of the deal was, if they're ever posted anywhere, they have to say part of the Dick Berry collection.
Ah. All right, let's try this. And I'll have to do. Let's see here. It's a PowerPoint. I don't see my share. Maybe this is it. How about that?
Good.
The L&M.
Litchfield, Madison.
Yep.
Ooh,
You can tell me what that is. I think it's a water car. That's what it says.
Hinckley and Schmidt was a springs water company. Yeah.
That is an unusual photo.
I think the cursor works on this. Well, we'll find out. I was going to say, note that one end has got a bunker on it, doesn't it?
I don't think so. No,
You think that's probably part of that boxcar? Probably is.
well, that's a Milwaukee post end. Single sheath car post end.
I guess I can't make my cursor work tonight. I don't know why.
That tank looks awfully flimsy.
The tank looked
But-
like it was set on a flat car.
Yeah,
Yep.
like it may have
Yep.
been something, but they only regulated the tanks that hauled hazardous materials. So if you hauled water, as long as it could even leak, I guess, and it was okay.
Look at the grab irons in the middle on that thing. Look
I
at
think
how
there's a
large
dome
they
up
are.
there. I think there's a
And the
dome up there, and that's why it's
Yep.
got to get up there.
But look how large they are, the size of the full pan.
Yeah.
To get to the seams.
Yeah.
That is strange car.
Now, Les,
Do you-
you're not going to model that, are you?
Boy,
I don't
that'd be an
anything
interesting
anymore.
model.
That would be
I
one
can't
for
wait.
Lester to model.
I have never
Yeah.
seen anything like that.
And we gotta have a little Amtrak in here. In a little fall color.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
At Otis is where the Monon went through.
Right.
There you go. Mont, I do have something for you, but there's no Monon left.
Yeah, thanks. I
Nothing
find
there.
that out every day.
This was the New York Central line that went out of Kalamazoo to South Haven. And there was a lot of transfer between the New York Central and the CNO over there through that line. And Bloomingdale had a oil, this was back in World War II era. Somebody found oil up there and they were shipped out 2 to 3 trainloads of oil a day. It was a very shallow wells, and it didn't last too long. that is a Northwestern caboose, by the way. And that Northwestern caboose is the only one that I know of that actually has the original wood trucks on it. It's in terrible shape. The guy in the white shirt is Bob Blake, but I don't think he's on here tonight. We're taking a picture of the icy humpback bridge somewhere in northern Illinois. That's a caboose that's in up there where we live, just south of us. I guess it's a C&O caboose. I assume that the guy who repainted it put the proper lettering on it. That's in Sawyer, Michigan. Cassopolis, Michigan, where the Grand Trunk and the New York Central line went through, but they're, you know, that's gone. The only thing there is a Grand Trunk now.
East
What are the
Dubuque.
two tunnels in Iowa or Illinois? That is a very short line in Elkhart, I guess, right?
It's out of Elkhart, but I think that picture was in Bristol, Ron.
Was it?
It's only 11 miles long. Comes out of the Elkhart NS yard.
You've seen this picture before. That's that Milwaukee bridge that my cousin owns. That just happens to be a better picture. I thought I'd put that in so you could see what the wood of a flat car really looked like. So you could, if you wanted to model it, it's gotta be gray with a little black between the lines. There's hardly any brown left in it.
Like driftwood.
Here's a Rock Island one for Bob. Bob, do you have Guthrie Center on your line?
No, I don't.
Nope.
I think that was a little before my time, maybe by a couple years.
Well, I didn't take that picture either, by the way.
Are you sure?
I did see a lot of horse-drawn wagons, but that's a little early.
Of course you didn't take the picture, Ron. You were standing on the platform.
One of my friends had a key collection and I took a picture of it and I thought, you know, I'll throw that out, see what you guys, you cannot sell keys through over the internet. Even though those don't fit anything anymore, but they're key.
You know they still make those? Ad Lake makes them in Elkhart.
I don't
And
know.
a friend of mine went and had some nickel plate keys made to fit his nickel plate locks. And the Monon Society had some made that said Monon Railroad Historical Society on all those initials, and it would not fit the Monon locks. You had to do a little machine work on them to get them to fit.
Well, you can see those are all different, I think. Well, maybe a couple the same or close to it. Now, with Doug gone, this probably doesn't mean much to anybody, but there's a thing I picked up on the Marshalltown Vinegar Company. We never lived very far from Marshalltown, about 23 miles. Never knew there was a vinegar company there. And here's a picture of the building. I'm sure that Doug has this, but he could have told us all about it. That's Cedar Rapids. To the left is the Illinois Central. To the right is the Milwaukee, if I'm correct. Not much there anymore, but the Milwaukee's all gone. The Illinois Central now is the Iowa Northern. There's some pictures here of North Freedom taken a long time ago. Probably one of the first Northwestern conventions we had up there. I don't remember when that was, but it was in the 90s.
I think this is an example, this particular car, where the built date on the frame is different than the built date on the tank.
Uh, after they had their flood up there, I don't know how much of this stuff survives anymore.
Yeah, I think they lost a lot.
A vinegar car, a wood vinegar car.
Yep.
I built one of those. A resin kit.
Not that one you did, Bob.
Yeah.
Close to it, but not that one.
Yep.
More of a man than I. Those things are hard to build.
They're one of the worst,
I
one
think
of
I
the
know where
toughest
mine
kits,
went. Didn't it go to you,
worst one
Bob?
I have ever built outside of Red Ball.
Oh.
I still
was-
got mine if anybody wants to buy one.
Can they afford it?
No.
I had to throw this in just for,
Yeah, that looks familiar.
Yeah.
the mini metals has been, or not mini metals, but the company we got the Olivers from, they're looking for ideas, and I've been trying to convince them that we need an elevator like that.
Like that or the one with the snow fence sides.
Yeah, I
I
think
tried to scratch build one using the Walther's coal loader and gave up about halfway through.
well, Chuck has built some nice ones, and I don't know I think he used the Walther stuff to build them with, but they are really nice. But if somebody would build that, would be a lot easier. Just a little washout.
Yeah.
I don't know where Godfrey is.
Oh, there's a Godfrey, Illinois.
Could be. No idea.
Well, what's the lettering on that, on
Yeah,
that
what does it say on that?
NY? Well, is that New York? Is that the
York,
NYOW?
Ontario and Western.
Yeah, so that's in New York or maybe Pennsylvania.
NYO and
Yeah, New York,
I see
Ontario
a
and
W.
Western, isn't it?
yeah. Then PBL must mean something else.
Of course, they might have borrowed the pile driver from somebody.
Is that tender, does that tender go with the pile driver?
I betcha.
Probably. And look at it, it's got a stack that can set up straight. Looks like it's laid over.
Yeah.
Whoops. This one you gotta see. You may not need to read it all, but you need to read the headline.
They converted a scale car into a potty car.
And they had a number of them. There wasn't just one.
Well, that's good. They can measure your output.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's
Where did you
not
find that?
enclosed.
Where did you find that, Ron?
Rock Island has a internet newsletter. And that turned up on that internet newsletter,
I'll be
and I had to have it. I haven't made one. I'm not going to make one, but
well,
that's
kind of a
scale-
waste of a scale car.
Yeah, so you,
yeah, it looks like it.
so you
Hey,
take a
Scott.
dump in the scale test car, huh?
Yeah, they're using the scale test tanks for.
There's no privacy there.
Boy, there was some imaginative engineer.
Yeah.
I don't see any toilet paper either.
No. Said there were special instructions covered when it was running ahead of the locomotive.
Right?
Was this an April 1st joke?
I've never heard of one.
Okay. That was in Clinton. That's a little short line in Clinton.
Oh, nice.
You know, if you can find that stuff, you can make some pretty interesting building signs.
Lake Mill Scanning Company.
There's 8 car loads of the Van Camp pork and beans.
You should have put that next to the scale car.
Yeah, you need a porta potty if you're gonna eat all that.
It's too bad I don't have a picture of that because down in the Norfolk Southern, their work trains, they actually do have porta potties on the flat cars.
Is
Well,
that
you're
an
right.
example of loads in and loads out?
I'm not sure where he took that at, but I think it's someplace in the central part of Iowa, probably on the northwestern.
Campbell had a model of it like that.
Yeah,
Well, it does give you the guy's first name. We've seen his pictures before. Now we know he was Ernst.
Oh,
Ernst
yeah.
V.
all right. So how much time we got left?
Oh, we got about 10 minutes.
I'll not show the other then.
We'll save
I
that
have,
for next
I have
week.
several other things, but that's enough for tonight for me.
Well done, Ron. Well done.
Yep.
Okay,
Ron, I'll send you an email. I want some of those St. L cars.
I'll get them to you. And if you don't get them right away, keep after me because I have a problem of forgetting things.
Oh, my fingers know how to use the keyboard.
Thank you. I don't think mine do.
And everybody wants a copy of the porta potty car.
I would agree. Well, and that weird tank car, that water car, shouldn't say, I'll water car. That was really unusual.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe send those out to the list.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
I'm
Well,
looking through my pictures to see what else I've got that's odd like that. I got thousands of pictures. I like Doug, I got unbelievable numbers of them and anyway.
That's great.
Have
Well,
you, Ron, have you converted most of yours to digital? I
Oh,
probably
no.
sit on 10,000 slides, but I've done no conversion.
I think half of mine are more than half have never been converted.
Wow.
Okay.
But we took a bunch of them that were in snapshots. And my friend Bob, that's not a Bob on this list, he has a machine and if I can find the CD that he made, he went through about 200 of them about 15 minutes. That thing
Wow.
it took a picture of it, flipped it, took a picture of it, flipped it. And I mean, it was all automatic. It was that was a great way to get the snapshots done.
You know what resolution you could set it at? I'm just curious if they come out and give it a decent resolution in the copy.
I gotta find a copy of it, Lester, because I thought I was gonna show it tonight, but I can't find the blooming thing.
Lester, about 10 years ago, a couple of companies had slide copying systems directly for computers. And you could put a stack of slides in and they would just fire right through them. And you could adjust the resolution to anything you wanted. And it depended on how long it took to scan each slide. Higher resolution, the scan would take a little bit longer.
I'm not sure the thing scanned. I think the thing took a picture, just like
Well,
we
that's
used to do.
what I mean by taking a picture of it.
Yeah.
It's still scanning. It's not a moving scan. It's just you know, a CCD or something inside.
It's like we
I've-
used to do with contact photos.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Well, I've bought, some of one of the high resolution scanners but you do 8 at a time or 10 slides and it takes quite a while. And it depends on resolution. If you want them at about 1200 DPI, which is probably a good way to go, it takes quite a while to scan them.
yeah. I'm going back the old fashioned way. I'm using my digital camera and a slide copying setup on the front of it.
Okay.
My
The,
scanner takes a long time too.
The fellow who's the head of the Institute for Railroad Photography and Art, which is located in Madison, Wisconsin, Scott Lotus, he told me that, they get donations of images, maybe 10,000 at a time. He said they can't scan these things. They don't have the personnel to do it. They have a special lens that fits onto a digital camera. It's backlit, and they essentially just
Yeah,
take a digital photo of the slide, and they
Okay.
a quality comparable to scanning.
We're doing the same thing at the Northwestern Archive. Jeff Eggert has a system. He's using a digital camera, and it automatically brings the slides over. He demonstrated it during the day for the archives earlier this spring. He actually set it up and did it live for us. It just moves a lot of images very quickly.
If you do a bit of a Google search, you'll see the outfits that sell these things. Some of them fit Canons, some of them fit Nikons. They're out there.
Well, thank you, Ron, for setting all this up today. That was very enjoyable. And thanks everybody for coming. Ron, do you think you'll have the tree presentation next week?
Don't worry, we'll have something.
Okay.
Hey, I need a helper for Saturday if any of you guys want to drive over to Minneapolis.
All right. That
Well, let
sounds
me
like
tell you
fun.
how the tree thing will work. I have a short one that I will show, but Rod has a clinic on his tree trees that he built, and as soon as we can get Mitch up and working, he will show his. So
Well,
it's really a 3 different night thing.
okay. And Mitch, he's putting that together. I saw the pictures on his computer on Tuesday, and we got him working on Zoom. So he's not confident yet, but we'll get there.
Yeah.
So we're making progress. We have on the 12th, I have Chuck Schwartz scheduled because he is going back down to Arizona, I think. So I got to remind him. And of course, next week we'll be in October.
Wow.
Where does the time go? But
And October 19th to 21st or 22nd is the North Central Region Convention in Fort Wayne. For
oh,
anybody
very good.
interested.
Our PM in Chicago is the 29th, and I believe of October 28th, 29.
Right.
Yeah, we got some good ones coming up.
And the National NMRA will be in Novi in 2025. Look up nmra2025.com.
Very good.
The Fort Wayne Convention, we've got about 12 layouts for operations and about 12 layouts for visiting.
Well, that sounds great.
Is yours one of them, John?
For operation, yeah, Saturday morning.
All right.
And then we're gonna go see Tom Zurich's layout.
Always a treat. All right. Well, thanks again, guys. We will see you next week. And thanks for joining. Have a great Thursday.
Good night, all.
Night.
Thank you.